Hey everyone, Shabby here, and welcome back to our next episode of the SWE Universe Mode. We are here with our next episode of Adrenaline. It's also our last episode of Adrenaline before we get to our first Adrenaline pay-per-view, which should be uploaded for you on Boxing Day. So this is going to be a big one, this one. I like this. And here is our opening match of the evening. It is going to be a triple threat match between Rey Mysterio Jr., Aerostar, and Lio Rush. And the winner of this one will go on to face off against Trevor Lee at the pay-per-view when Trevor Lee makes his first defense of the Adrenaline Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, Trevor Lee winning that belt last weekend in that Option C tournament that obviously Matt Sydal gave up his championship for an attempt at Bobby Roode and the Adrenaline Championship. And of course, Matt Sydal got incredibly embarrassed in that show as well, really. So first off, we've got Aerostar here, a great high flyer. I think PJ Toby's had Aerostar 2 years in a row now. I think he had him on Season 2 as well. And we do have a special debut here for you this evening as well. Another new member to the Adrenaline roster, somebody who was not in the draft, somebody who has been signed up, so it'll be interesting to see who that is. Also, we're going to have Heavy Machinery taking on the team of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We got Juice Robinson taking on Minuro Suzuki. And in our main event this evening, AJ Styles goes one-on-one with Ricochet. Should be a cracking match, that one as well, actually. Very high-flying. But talking of high-flying, this triple threat is going to be a cracking starter. Three very, very good cruiserweights. I'm not quite sure on Lio Rush's situation with WWE at the moment. Of course, when he signed WWE and joined NXT, he really, he changed his Twitter page to have WWE and NXT written all over it and this, that and the other. And then all of a sudden, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, he cleared all of that off. So there's been no official word that he's been released or anything like that, but he no longer has any of the Lio Rush stuff, he no longer has any of the NXT stuff on his Twitter page. Of course he has Lio Rush stuff because it is his Twitter page. So I don't know whether that unfortunate situation with the poorly timed and poorly thought about tweet about when Emma got released may have struck his career short before it even begun, really. They might just try and just hide it under the carpet for a while and just pretend like nothing happened and then just bring him through. A bit like what they did with Paige, I think. I wonder whether Paige might have been back earlier from an injury if it wasn't for the whole nudie-gate. If it wasn't for those pictures coming out, I wonder whether she might have been able to get back into the ring a little bit sooner. Whether WWE just thought, let's just leave her out as long as we can until whatever happened, everyone is sort of put to the back of their mind. Because when these sort of things happen, they are at the forefront of most people's minds. That's what they did. They kept New Day off TV for a few weeks as well, didn't they? Until it all sort of blown over and no one was going to give Xavier Woods any hassle. So it sort of worked pretty well. I would imagine there are still the odd person here and there that's maybe in the crowd chanting dodgy stuff towards Paige, but I can't imagine the rest of the fans are going to be on this side. As Aerostar now up on the top decides against it. We saw Lio Rush coming towards him. So triple threat matches on this game are a little bit iffy to start off with until one person gets knackered out and ends up leaving the ring. Oh, nice. A stroke there by Rey Mysterio, bringing Lio Rush back up to his feet. And I can't believe we actually saw, at the Option C pay-per-view, we actually saw Rey Mysterio hit the 619 for the first time in, like, over a year. He always tries it, but can never get it. But he did get it that time. So Rey now hooking the legs. Of course, Rey Mysterio, a brand new member to the Adrenaline roster as well. He was signed up as part of the Option C tournaments. He's had many opportunities to get signed up in the past. Oh, nice complete shot there by Lio Rush. And then Rey Mysterio rolls out of the ring. And there we go. Now we've got a bit more consistency to the match. When there's 3 people in the ring all trying to fight each other on this game, it goes a bit crazy. So when one person gets knackered out and ends up leaving the ring, it does make the match a lot better. Yeah, so Rey joined the Adrenaline roster. He's had a couple of opportunities now. He was part of the Mystery Vortex pay-per-view where some people got added onto the rosters. He was also involved in the Money in the Bank as the unsigned man. Of course, was unsuccessful there as well. But finally, at option C, PJ Tover gave him the opportunity. And he could be an amazing cruiserweight to have in the roster, really. Although he can't seem to figure out how to hit a running crossbody, which is quite embarrassing for him, really. He's been wrestling for a good few years. When you can't hit a running crossbody, it's pretty... Just try something else, Ray. It's not working. Just face it. And he does. He finally goes to that Hurricanrana, but that was the setup for the 619, but of course, completely the wrong angle. Oh, nice. Aerostar just launching Ray over the top. Now, Aerostar, if he's wise, will continue working over Leo Rush, but he's not. He is not wise whatsoever. Reverse DDT on the outside. That's going to do some damage. And now Aerostar being wise, coming back in the ring and trying to work over Leo Rush, knowing that he's the man in the ring. He's the one who you want to do damage to, really. Oh, Aerostar, you showed a bit of strength there, really. He's more well known for his agility, but the strength is quite impressive as well there. Is Aerostar calling for a tag there? It looked like he was calling for a tag there for a second. Ray rolling Leo Rush through and a big kick across the chest. And then Aerostar catching Ray right into the corner. Oh, went for the diving bulldog in the corner. Oh, Ray, he's got it. Ray's actually got it. 619. Rush is still down. Rush is back up, though. Just in time. Ray hooking with the legs, of course. Aerostar's down. Oh, referee. And Ray's got it. Ray has got it. Wow. Rey Mysterio goes on to the Adrenaline pay-per-view to face off against Trevor Lee for the Cruiserweight Championship here on Adrenaline. He hit that 619 on Aerostar. And then that Hurricanrana hook in the legs, his entire body weight on the shoulders of Leo Rush. He was just compressed in that small package and so difficult to get himself out. And obviously he couldn't get himself out. And Rey Mysterio is victorious. And it means Rey also gets some ranking points. He's been struggling for ranking points, hasn't he? Bless him. Over the previous few months. But he actually hit the 619 once again. Maybe it's changed a little bit now then. Because maybe, like, if you saw that, for example, it's sort of... Aerostar sort of came towards the ropes before the Hurricanrana hit. So maybe the positioning does actually work. That'd be pretty good. Well, there we go. Cruiserweight #1 champion sorted. And here is our second match of the evening. It is going to be our big debut here. It's an open challenge here from Abyss in a Monsters Ball match. Of course, Abyss joined this roster when himself and Crazy Steve won a tag team match against... Who was it against now? Was it the Nasty... No, it wasn't the Nasty Boys, was it? Or was it the Nasty Boys? It might have been. At the Mystery Vortex pay-per-view. And I think Peter's going to be happy with this Abyss. The last Abyss we had was a little bit iffy, to be honest. Now, this Abyss looks pretty good, actually. It's always going to be a little bit dodgy because of the mask is not on the game. The mask shape, so someone's had to make it out of patterns and so forth. So, it looks good. It looks the right size and everything, but it's just the texture's not always going to be 100%. But I think apart from that, it looks pretty good, actually. I like it. So, who is Abyss's new opponent going to be in this Monsters Ball match? This is Extreme Rules, no disqualifications, no countouts. Whoever it is taking their time. And there we go, it is going to be Falaba. Rocking a bit of Ryback here. So, of course, Falaba, a guy who's been working with TNA quite a bit recently. We haven't got Ryback on this game, have we? Is Ryback something worth looking at, to be honest? I have seen some pretty good Ryback cores on the community creations, and if his entrance and everything is on here, it makes you wonder whether he might actually be an option. I wasn't really a massive fan of Ryback, to be brutally honest with you, but he might have his place somewhere. I don't know where, but we might give him a place somewhere. Maybe another shout for another Mystery Vortex at some point. There we go. There's going to be Abyss versus Falabar in a Monsters Ball. No disqualifications, no countouts. So it's still the same. It's difficult to make someone look fat on this game, isn't it? Because I think Falabar even is a bit smaller than probably what he should be. It is tricky, isn't it? But still, it's a pretty good core, I think. It does the trick. It's nice to have these people get an opportunity in SWE, show what they can do, really. It's some people who... I can't imagine many YouTubers on the old Tinternet have actually got Falabar in their universe mode, and that's what we do. We give people these opportunities to prove what they can do. Whether they stick around or not is a different story, but it's all down to what they do. If he gets a few victories, then it'll be forced to keep him around. If he is just a bit of a mess and ends up losing week after week after week, then he probably might disappear in the long term. But that's the way that the universe mode works. People will keep getting opportunities. And that's what I was saying about Ryback. I'm not a fan of Ryback. I never really was. However, he might have a place. He would give an opportunity. You never know. He might be able to take it. But I don't know what brand Ryback would really suit, to be honest. Like, Mayhem is more of your classical sort of brand. You've got a lot of Attitude Era stars and Retro stars in there. Throwdown potentially is the best place for him, maybe. He's more... Throwdown's the more American versus anti-American. But it's also got a core of these big... sort of bruiserweight stylers of Keith Lee and Michael Elgin and Brian Cage and so forth. Maybe Ryback would fit more into that picture. There's also potential Carnage, maybe he could fit into that. However, I don't really think Adrenaline's more TNA / Ring of Honor / indie. Octane is more your sort of British European style show. It's nice the fact that all the shows have got their own sort of theme as such. It's not been done intentionally. It's just the way that me and PJ Toby sat down when we did the draft, and that's just actually how we came out of it. We all had ideas of what we wanted to make each show look like, and that's exactly what it did. And Carnage is your more ECW, Combat Zone Wrestling, and just Deathmatch Hardcore Wrestling in general. But the ECW bit's the good bit, because that's where you get the Cruiserweight aspect from. Because they did have a lot of good Cruiserweights in there as well. Pin here by Falabar, 1. Only a 1 count. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think Ryback would suit? If we were to utilise him. I mean, we are bringing in more and more people. We have to be careful how many core slots we use, to be honest. Because we've actually... This one account here, this one account that I'm using here, is solely just for Adrenaline and Octane. That's the only 2 shows that I run from this year, from this save account. And I've already used all 100 core slots. So we are struggling a little bit with core spaces. That's why our rosters are so big this year. Last year our rosters were like 50 people on each roster. This year it's between 70 and 80 on each roster. So it is a much bigger unit of shows. But I think it's a good thing. And Abyss is really struggling here. Falabar is doing a lot of damage. Abyss is busted open, which, as I've said in the past, is really difficult for you because it is liquid energy running out of your body. If you bleed for too long, you do completely run out of energy. But nobody's gone for a weapon as yet. Remember, this is Monsters Ball, so weapons are allowed. No disqualifications, no countouts, but if they don't think they need them, oh, see Abyss, they're going for a chokeslam of Falabar, reversing it into a DDT. Talking of Carnage, that's our next show, isn't it? And Carnage is going to be on Saturday. And we do have some big stuff coming up for you over the weekend as well. We've got, I've got a special on New Year's Eve. I've got a special on Christmas Day. And, of course, we've got the Adrenaline pay-per-view for you on Boxing Day. So a lot of action coming for you over that Christmas period. And, you know, if you're bored of doing the Christmassy stuff. I always get bored on Christmas, I must admit. It's fun for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, just being stuck in the house for a while, it's... with a lot of people, it just gets a little bit tedious, doesn't it? So you just need that something to do, that something to entertain you, don't I? And maybe a little bit of SWE could be your release from Christmas. You never know. Nice headbutt there by Abyss. Into a DDT. And now Abyss just compressing the shoulder of Falabar. Mainly just slowing the pace of the match down, I would imagine. Just trying to slow Falabar down and get to a point where it's not going to be too overwhelming. Try and regain a bit of energy. Throwing someone like Falabar around cannot be easy because of the weight of the man. It's going to really take more energy out of you. And now this fight does descend to the outside. Abyss now taking Falabar up onto his shoulder and drops him face first. Wow. That's a heavy weight to drop face first. And now Abyss putting Falabar back in the ring. And again, still no weapons in this match. Interesting. Abyss now taking Falabar up and slams him. Wow. Big slam there by Abyss. And finally goes to the pin. He took a couple of seconds to think about that, didn't he? Still only a 2 count though. Maybe it must be weapon. There we go. Abyss looks like he's thinking about weapons finally. About time he had some weaponry in here. Up in here. Abyss has got a ladder. I didn't think that these two guys would ever resort to a ladder, but Abyss using that ladder as a blunt object, as they normally do in this game. I don't like that. I think that either the AI should be intelligent enough to use the ladder as a ladder, maybe like putting it. What is Abyss doing here? See, if you don't think the game is broken, then just look at Abyss right now. Just look at this. What is Abyss trying to do here? I'm assuming he's trying to go over the barricade, but he's not in the right position maybe to press the action button. Or is he not in an arena that allows fighting in the crowd? I'm sure I don't think I would have set any of the arenas without that, to be honest. Abyss just walking across the chest of Falabar. Yeah, I'd like them to use the ladder as a ladder rather than as a blunt object. So maybe putting it in the corner and throwing someone into it, or putting it on the floor and suplexing someone onto it and stuff like that. Same with tables, and I think they do sometimes on here now actually use a table as a table in these matches. And again now Falabar rocking the moonwalk. Yeah. What's he doing now? Oh, Ukes and 2K, please make a game that works. That would be amazing. Abyss now rolling Falabar over into the pin. 1, 2. Still only a 2 count. It still takes something impressive to keep one of these two guys down. I can't believe Abyss was busted open so early, to be honest. Oh, a big clubbing blow against the back of the head of Falabar there by Abyss. Now went for the Ace Crusher. Abyss compressing the head of Falabar, and Bar catching Abyss in the gut with an elbow. Now Bar strikes right in the face. Another big overhand strike as well. And Abyss, the blood now running from his mouth as well. Falabar dropping a leg drop right in the arm of Abyss. Taking him down once again. Falabar is very, very fast for a man of his size. Again, there's still only a 2 count. Look at the blood on Abyss's face. Falabar bringing Abyss back up to his feet. Again, taking him down. This time just wrenching the leg back. Does Falabar have enough to finish Abyss off? That's the question. Abyss, though, fighting back with that right hand. Into a black hole slam. Out of nowhere, vintage Abyss. But for some reason, not going to go for the pin. Why would you not go for the pin after black hole slam? That's your finisher, isn't it? Looking for a trifecta of DDTs here by the looks of it. Yep. 3 DDTs in a row there by Abyss. And Abyss has knackered himself out now. Abyss back up to his feet once again, now stalking Falabar. So is the black hole slam not his finisher? What? Why? Okay. That was a worse version of the black hole slam. Okay, well, there you go. Abyss has won. Abyss gets the victory here, but I'm a bit confused how we saw the Black Hole Slam earlier on, and it must have been down as his signature maneuver, maybe. Abyss offering a handshake here to Falabar. And Falabar's having none of it. A loss in his debut in SWE here to Abyss. He is not happy. I don't know why Abyss was even offering a handshake, to be honest. It's not like Abyss, to be honest, is it? Abyss is a monster. And here we go. Here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be Heavy Machinery taking on the team of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Should be an interesting one then. Owens and Zayn, always nice for them to get the ranking points. And Heavy Machinery, their first opportunity to show what they can do here in SWE. I like Heavy Machinery, I do. I'm not quite sure. I don't think PJ Tovey is a big fan of Heavy Machinery. I'm not quite sure why he picked them, to be honest, but could be an interesting team for him. I think the Heavy Machinery might suit the Throwdown and Mayhem rosters a little bit better, but to be honest, PJ Tovey does need the depth in his Adrenaline tag team. He doesn't, well, I don't say he needs the depth, but I think out of all the brands, I think Adrenaline has the smallest tag team division. But that's not saying it's too small. I think all the other brands have probably got too big of a tag team division, to be honest. And here they are then, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Interesting to see them together as a team here. PJ Tovey obviously wanted to give an opportunity, see what they can show. Of course, they are teaming together in real life at this point in time in SmackDown as well, so it's sort of a parallel to real life. And who knows, a good run for these two guys, and they could get themselves into the tag team to picture themselves, really. Of course, of recent, Kevin Owens picked the victory over Austin Aries a few weeks back. Hideo Itami defeated Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship on week number 1. Of course, Itami was the champion at that point in time, so it's been an up and down time. It's been a good time for Owens, a bad time for Zayn so far, but this is their chance to really turn it around and show what they can do once again. We're starting things off with them with Fulton. Tyler? Oh, I've got lost again. It's Otis Dozovic on the outside. And my mind has gone blank now. Heavy Machinery. It's Tucker Knight, isn't it? Yes, Tucker Knight. Tucker Knight in the ring. I got Tyler stuck in my head for some reason. Tucker Knight in the ring and Otis Dozovic on the outside. And now Dozovic is in the ring. I'll tell you what, a win here for Heavy Machinery would be insane for them. Would really be proof that they are a team that should be getting a bit more utilisation in SWE. This is the first time we've seen them so far, I believe. Yep, first time we've seen them so far. Nice backdrop there by Dozovic. Of course, these two guys both very, very strong. I think Dozovic is a former... Is he a former strongman as well? Let's have a gander. La 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 la. Greco-Roman wrestling champion in the Pan American Games. He was part of the Greco-Roman wrestling team for the 2012 Summer Olympics. No, I was wrong. He isn't a strongman. Then he's just done a bit of Greco-Roman wrestling. I quite like him actually. I don't know. He didn't win. No, he came third in the Greco-Roman wrestling championships in 2010. It must have been a junior division then, I would imagine. Wow. He is younger than me. He was born in 1991. Wow. Okay. I've got to that age now where you start to see these people that are younger than you. Nice Blue Thunder Bomb there by Sami Zayn on Otis Dozovic. There's the pin. 1, 2... No, only 1 count. Now Sami now locking in the head scissors. Maybe a haluva kick or a... What's the other one called? I've forgotten now. I've actually forgotten. What's his finisher called? The Koji Clutch? No, it's not the Koji Clutch. It is the Koji Clutch, isn't it? Yeah. And Takanai had been very cleverish, I suppose, taking out Sami Zayn on the outside while Otis Dozovic is down, trying to get some energy back. Referee's up to a 4 count now, though. And we have seen in the past issues where this happens and it ends up being a count out because of... I bet it's not going to be this time. Okay. Sami Zayn now sending Dozovic into the corner. And in comes Kevin Owens, and Dozovic wants nothing to do with Owens, just back straight away. Owens catching Tucker Knight now into a backbreaker. Now Owens taking everyone out into a backbreaker on Dozovic as well. And maybe he shouldn't have paid any attention to Dozovic, just sort of continued on his assault of Tucker Knight, because now Tucker's managed to get control once again. Whoa. Bloody hell. I had a pop up on my computer, just started a bloody video up. Bastards. Owens now. Oh, he's going to troll us. What do I need to do? Thinking about it. If we are going to use these two as a tag team, they used to have, on last year's game, they used to have the tag team finisher of Generico and Owens on here, wasn't it? It was the Brainbuster into the package power driver. I'll have to have a look. If PJ Toby wants to use these two as a team moving forward, then that tag team finisher should be put on there as well. Oh, nice bit of teamwork there. As Kevin Owens just pulling that top rope down, which made Tucker Knight fall to the outside, and Zayn wants to get out there, referee blocking him off. So the referee can count him. Tucker Knight back in the ring after a 3. And take Zayn into a belly-to-belly suplex. Don't think we've still got 2 more matches left for you after this one. Next up we've got Juice Robinson taking on Minuro Suzuki. And of course our main event, AJ Styles versus Ricochet. Tucker Knight now, a big kick in the spine of Sami Zayn. And now locking in that submission there. It's the Gargano escape, isn't it? Wow, if Zayn taps out here, that'd be massive. But no, looks like Zayn is able to twist himself free in a knee right in the back of the head of Tucker Knight. And then a right hand as well. Tucker Knight sending Zayn into the corner. And he's going to rock the Ho Train by the looks of it. Ho Train. Knight now rolling Zayn over into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, wow, what? Owens is not happy either. Owens thought that Zayn was going to kick out of that, but Zayn obviously not able to. And Heavy Machinery have just picked up a massive win. Holy crap. That was out of no... Oh, Heavy Machinery continuing the assault here on Owens and Zayn as well. Dozovic just kicking Owens out the ring, and now Fulton and Dozovic continuing to work over Sami Zayn before launching him out of the ring as well. And Heavy Machinery have just announced their arrival here in SWE. Wow, that is big, that is. What a victory there by Heavy Machinery. And here's our next match of the evening, where we see Minoru Suzuki taking on Juice Robinson. Should be an interesting one as well. So 2 guys making their first appearance here in SWE Season 3. And of course, actually, Juice Robinson making his debut appearance here in SWE in general. Not appeared in SWE before. He was somebody I really wanted last year, but we couldn't find a good enough core of him. And this year, I think the core is still a little bit rough around the edges, but it's a decent one. But first off, of course, it is going to be Minoru Suzuki. Eventually. Where is he? He's hidden. he just going to turn up at some point? Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Looking pretty good, the Suzuki. I wish there was a way to put a towel over someone's head for their entrance without just having to utilise Cesaro's entrance every time, but don't matter, does it really? So this should be an interesting match. Suzuki very much more a stiff, strong style wrestler. Juice, I don't really see much of Juice since he left WWE, to be honest. I do appreciate him as a wrestler. I think he has really progressed a lot since joining New Japan. He has looked pretty good, and I think that's all he needed. I think you could tell when he was in WWE he had a decent future about him. But he obviously I think he requested his release. In fairness, he was on TV. He was doing pretty well, but he was just being utilised as somebody to put other people over a lot of the time, wasn't he? And that must be quite frustrating. But you got to think in those situations that you've got to do that. I mean, look at some of the other guys, for example, like Tucker Knight, we were just saying before. He was someone who jobbed completely for a year before they finally gave him his role as what he was doing. And you look at Jason. Whoa, what is that on his face? Wow, what have they done to this guy's face? What on earth? The problem is you can't see these things. You can't inspect the core before you download it anymore. You can't rotate. Oh my god, this is dire. PJ Tove, if you're watching, I apologise. Because his attire looks pretty good, actually. I'll give him his attire. But what is wrong with his bloody face? It's those skin-coloured circles on the side that just bugger it up, isn't it? Is it just on the one side? What have they done to you? What have they done to you, Juice? What have they done to you, Juice? Poor man. Poor man. Well, he's got a chance to get himself some ranking points here before he disappears. So this is the reason why we didn't use Juice last year, because we couldn't find a decent core. And this year, like I said, this one looked okay. As you can see, it looks okay in a screenshot, but when you actually get it in a moving position, it's pretty iffy. It looks really good from here, doesn't it? And then he turns around, you see his face again. Juice now taking Suzuki down. Wow, if Juice beat Suzuki here, that would be a pretty insane moment, wouldn't it, really? What an iffy face he's got there. Nice DDT there by Juice. Bringing Suzuki back up to his feet. And Suzuki does slide out the back. Now this Suzuki I think looks pretty good. I think the hair's spot on. The attire's good, but you can't really get his attire wrong, can you, really? It's so simple. So his entire core is all based on the face and the attire, isn't it? And it's all based on the face and the hair, sorry. His hair is the most difficult thing because of the way it's styled. And if you can get that right, you're always going to get a pretty good core. And Suzuki, I think, could be a pretty strong member here of PJ Toby's roster. Of course, he's one of the top names in New Japan. Is he knocking around? I've not seen him actually scheduled in for a match at Wrestle Kingdom yet. I might be wrong. Is he scheduled for a match at Wrestle Kingdom? I'm going to have a go. It's not long till Wrestle Kingdom now, is it? Oh, I do like a good Wrestle Kingdom. The problem is with Wrestle Kingdom for me is that once Wrestle Kingdom's happened, wrestling goes downhill for the rest of the year. Because that's how good Wrestle Kingdom is. Wrestle Kingdom 12. Right, what's the card so far? Right. Okada versus Naito. Omega versus Jericho. Tanahashi versus Jay White. Mighty Skull versus Takahashi, Kushida and Will Ospreay. Roppongi 3K versus the Young Bucks for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Kota Ibushi versus Cody Rhodes. And the Killer Elite Squad, Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer versus Los Ingobernables de Japan. Evil and Sonada. So nothing at this point in time for Suzuki. However, I don't know whether... Obviously, this is not the entire card anyway. Who's holding the that other championship? What's it called? The Neverweight Championship? Who's holding that at the moment? I don't know. Yeah, Suzuki's not yet booked for any matches at Wrestle Kingdom, but he is still one of the top names there. He did have an opportunity at the IWGP Championship when he returned to New Japan in January, I think. There's a pin here by Suzuki. 1, 2, only a 2 count. What we need is for Suzuki to kick this dodgy look off of Juice Robinson's face. Remove the dodgy look. As Juice now looking for the unprettier or the kill switch, whatever you want to call it, but he's hit it. There's the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. So what's Suzuki up to now then? As Juice now taking Suzuki up on his shoulders. Minuro Suzuki, is that his business? If I spelled his name right, I'd be impressed. Well, nothing's come up on Wikipedia. I'm not sure what he's up to at the moment, to be honest. He's still resting, obviously, but I don't know if he's planned to defend that championship. Didn't say much about his return to New Japan, to be honest. He's still there, but not much has happened. And he's been part of Ring of Honor quite a bit this year as well, which is pretty impressive. Suzuki now taking Juice up high. Super backdrop. Wow. And now Suzuki just dropping back into the corner, just staring down the grounded Juice Robinson and sort of looking at him thinking, well, what are you going to do about it? Nice backbreaker there by Suzuki on Juice as well, stamping on the arm. And now, clubbing blows right across the face of Juice. Suzuki bringing Juice back up, but Juice playing possum, catching him with the elbow in the gut into a neck breaker. A running double axe handle, which is always a bit of a messy maneuver, isn't it, really? Don't do this. Oh my god, Juice Robinson won. Juice Robinson just beat Suzuki, but this might be the last time we see Juice for a while, because this core is shocking. It looks good on the... I hate this new game. The actual... wow, it's so bad. The download screen is so iffy now, because you can't look properly at a wrestler before you download them. And that thing on the side... Oh my god, there's a handshake as well. Oh my god. Oh my god. Suzuki, just kill him, Suzuki. Attack him. Attack him. And it's main event of the evening time as AJ Styles takes on Ricochet. Now, where are these two guys in the rankings? AJ Styles is second in the rankings. Ricochet is really low down, isn't he? If I remember correctly. Yes, Ricochet is pretty close to the bottom. Ricochet needs a bit of a boost, I think. He did get a win last week in a dark match against Doink the Clown, which is always fun. And solely that match was made solely so Ricochet could get a victory, to be honest. Ricochet, he also lost, didn't he, in the... Was he in that? Yes, he was, okay. So Ricochet beat Doink the Clown this week and got plus 3 points for it's a dark match. But then he lost the first round of Option C, which means he loses 10 points, which means he's even worse off than what he was to start with. Right. I think PJ Toby's going to have to, next month, I think he's going to have to give maybe Ricochet a bit of a push, like I've been doing on Octane with the likes of Neville, for example. Neville was really low in the rankings, but over the past month I've given him some easy-ish matches and given some difficult ones as well, as you saw this week, and he has really shown me that he deserves to be at that top level now because he's been knocking out every single opponent in his way. There we go then, AJ Styles in the ring. A man who'll be hoping to get himself in the championship picture very, very soon. And he is very close to being in that championship picture. PJ Toby yet to announce the main event for our Adrenaline pay-per-view, so I'm sure that we'll probably figure that out at the pay-per-view itself, which would be pretty cool. Ricochet just dab in there for a second, you know, as you do. I like this Ricochet. It took a while of holding out, but finally we got the Ricochet we really wanted, the good version. There were some rough ones on there. There were some really rough ones on there, I promise you that. But this one is obviously very, very good. The tattoos are spot on. The face is spot on. It still confuses me a little bit because I've not seen Ricochet wrestle much since he had his haircut. So the fact that he's bald really confuses me sometimes, but there you go. So Ricochet entering the ring. This is a massive, massive match then. Because if Ricochet loses this match here, then he's going to get another minus 10 points, which is going to be a shocking situation for him to be in. But if Ricochet wins this, he's going to get plus 10 points, which is what he needs to sort of get rid of the poor performance he had at the Option C pay-per-view, where I thought he was one of the favourites to go on and win the championship, to be honest, but evidently, he decided that he wanted to prove me wrong. Nice handshake there between these two. The referee rings the bell and we are underway. AJ Styles now, nice snap suplex to start things off. And Ricochet trying to get some control, but AJ once again taking Ricochet down. AJ taking Ricochet out once again. Nice shin breaker. Sending Ricochet off the ropes. Ricochet catching him into a DDT. AJ running clothesline, taking Ricochet out. Now heading over the top. AJ looking like he's going to go for a springboard 450. Lovely. AJ dropping a boot right at the side of the knee of Ricochet, then a boot right across the chest of Ricochet as well. AJ bringing Ricochet back up to his feet now, on the shoulders. Nice, just garroting him over that top rope. Brings Ricochet back up on the shoulders once again. There's a Yurigoroshi. That Death Valley driver neckbreaker, and I think Ricochet's in big trouble here. As AJ Styles once again willing Ricochet back up to his feet. Springboard forearm, the phenomenal forearm. Wow. Has Ricochet just been squashed here by AJ Styles? 1, 2, no. Ricochet kicked out just in time. This is not looking like a good night there for Ricochet, is it? Let's face it. Bless him. Bless his cotton socks. He's trying. AJ wrenching back at the neck of Ricochet now. Ricochet fighting his way free. And AJ sends him into the corner. Hoisted up top. Oh, Ricochet with a boot in the face there, breaking free. Nice jump in Hurricanrana from that top rope. Ricochet now bringing AJ Styles back up to his feet. Catch him in the clothesline, now second clothesline. Big splash in the corner. Followed by another big clothesline that flips back up to his feet. If Ricochet can pull off this victory, that'd be massive for him. Oh, he's going to go for it. Is he the Northern Light suplex? Rolls it through. Deadlift up for the vertical suplex. And AJ's positioned quite nicely. I thought he might be going for the 680 actually, but he's going to go for the pin straight after that, which might be enough. It's no, it's only over for 2. Ricochet can't believe it. Bringing AJ back up to his feet. Saito suplex, and again, AJ positioned in a decent position. It's not the best position, but if Ricochet can hit the 680 here, he might just have enough. He does hit the 680 into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2. Wow, only a 2 from the 680 senton. Wow, what is either man going to have to do here? Nice springboard Phoenix splash from the middle rope. Ricochet now looking for a short DDT there on AJ, but AJ playing possum. AJ now taking Ricochet up into a gutbuster. AJ dragging Ricochet across the ring, dropping a boot in the gut, and now wrenching back at the neck of Ricochet. Ricochet fighting free. AJ sending Ricochet into the turnbuckle. Now up on top he goes. Ricochet fighting back with a back elbow. And I'm not quite sure what happened there. It looked like he was going for that Hurricane again, but it's almost like he just hit him with his body weight and took him down. But both men are down the ground now, struggling. And both slowly getting back up. Both up to a knee, but AJ's back up to feet first. But Ricochet catching him out. Ricochet bringing AJ back up. On the shoulder, runs into the corner. Followed up by that power slam. Pinned there by Ricochet. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Big elbow in the top of the forehead there by Ricochet. Now brings AJ back up to his feet on the shoulder once again. Dropping AJ neck first across that top rope. Not a comfortable position whatsoever. Ricochet just deadlifting AJ back up to a standing base. Looking for a suplex, but AJ hooking the leg to reverse into a suplex of his own. And now AJ locking in an armbar. A cross armbar here, locked in on Ricochet. Is Ricochet going to have to tap? No, Ricochet able to roll it through. And a big, stiff right hand right in the face of AJ. But you see the damage has been done. Ricochet holding that arm. And now Ricochet wrenching back at the arm of AJ. AJ slowly getting back up to his feet though. Right hand in the gut of Ricochet, who's struggling now. AJ with another strong right hand, but Ricochet taking him down. Ricochet now sending AJ into the far corner. Oh, AJ caught him with a knee in the face. Now there's the front chancery. And locking another armbar, but Ricochet's at the ropes, but Ricochet not able to, for some reason, well, I know why, it's because we've got rope breaks switched off, haven't we, but we've got automatic rope breaks switched off, but I don't think that should be an automatic, obviously. That should be, you should grab the rope. I think both should be in the game. Backbreaker there by AJ Styles. AJ in control now, over the top, over for the middle he goes. Looking for that over the top. As AJ now, phenomenal forearm once again to Ricochet. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be game, set, match. 1, 2, and 3. Ricochet busted open pretty severely with that phenomenal forearm as well. But AJ Styles gets himself the 10 points and the momentum moving forward in SWE. And I feel like AJ Styles is definitely going to be someone who is going to have to be involved somewhere in this main event for the championship at the Adrenaline pay-per-view, surely. You'd think, surely, wouldn't you? And it was a good back and forth match. Ricochet had some opportunities to win, but AJ just showing great resilience. But as did Ricochet, he showed great resilience until finally it was just too much for him, and AJ was able to hit that second phenomenal forearm. There was a 680 senton, which I thought might just be enough, but it wasn't quite. There's a nice power slam as well earlier on. But again, that wasn't enough to get the free count. And eventually the second phenomenal forearm of the match, which busted Ricochet open. You see the blood streaming down his face straight away. That was enough to keep him down. Boom. And there we go then. AJ Styles is victorious. He gets plus 10 ranking points. Ricochet going to lose 10 ranking points, which is going to put him more or less bottom of the Adrenaline roster. I think that PJTW next month, like I said, should give Ricochet the sort of run that I've been giving Neville. Let's just help boost him up, give him some momentum, give him some ranking points, and then it all starts to come together for him. But there we go, guys. That's the end of this episode of Adrenaline. I hope you have enjoyed it. And of course, if you have, then please do hit a like and, of course, subscribe if you're new around here as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in a couple of days' time for our next episode of Carnage. And when we hit that episode of Carnage on the 23rd, then we've got 5 days? No, 4 days of SWE in a row. So Carnage... then a special on New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, a special on Christmas Day, then the Adrenaline pay-per-view is going to be on Boxing Day, so don't miss out on that. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye!